So everybody knows I'm a bit of a GoPro fanboy. I think I've got around 16 of them, and I've been collecting them since the original HD. And I hate selling cameras. This one here is the GoPro 9 with the media mod on it, and I've got the light mod. I don't have the display mod yet. I've got to get that. And I'm going to just take the media mod off here because I've got the next new mod, which is the lens one, and I've just arrived in a box a couple of minutes ago. So I thought I'm just going to sit down and record that, put it on here, and we'll go out and have a play with it and see what it actually does. We've all seen a few videos around about the potential of it, and yeah, other people demoing it, and I just want to go out and see for myself and show you guys what I can do with it in the real world. So let's get the media mod off here. I'll start with that. It just pops off here. There we go, and the camera slides out. I just figured it would be possibly easier to do that with the media mod off it, because I'm going to have to do something with the lens here to rotate it around. There we go. There's a box, and this box has got the new part in it. So I'll also grab a kniffy. Always nice to have nice sharp knives around. Get off. Not exactly pleasant ASMR in that one, and I'll cut it through there and have a look and see what's in here. Okay, first thing in here of course is the all important bits of wrapped up paper and the lens mod. There we go. Get rid of the big box and just work with this smaller box now. So that's just in a plastic bag as well, so I'll pull that open and pull this out of here, and we'll have a look at the box quickly. On here it's just the lens mod on the front, of course, showing you that, and on the back shows you it's a 155-degree angle and you can stick it on a helmet. Lens mod is waterproof to 5 meters, not recommended for underwater use due to image distortion. So yeah, you can take it underwater, but you're probably going to get a crap image from it. But anyway, let's just get that knife through a couple of those security stickers on there and pull this thing out of the box. Right, here we go. Pulling it out. There it is. It's a box inside a box with a couple of little booklets, a user guide, which is going to be useful because that's the thing I've always been worrying about, is removing it the wrong way and trashing it. And limited lifetime warranty. I think that means that once it's dead, its lifetime is over and it's no longer covered by warranty. Maybe. Let's take it out of the box, and oh, there's a couple of other little things in there too. Let's just I like when there's extra bits. There you go. It's a little tiny weeny lens cloth for the little tiny weeny lens, which is good because I was just looking at this one here before and thinking, man, that's really, really dirty and I need to tidy that up. Let's have a look in here. This is that same sort of rubber grip seal on the GoPro. It's sort of slick but flexible at the same time. It's got a little GoPro emblem embedded on it, and pull that out and there it is. I love the way that just slides. That's good. I could have fun playing with this all day. That's neat. This is beautifully made. I love it. Okay, so that's that. I'll just leave it covered over for a second, and the booklet is telling me to just rotate that clockwise a quarter turn-ish. You can see from in here that there's not a lot of turn required because of those gaps on the side. So let's have a go with this one here. I've never taken this off before. It's not scaring me at all, of course, because I trust GoPro. Let's just give that a bit of a tweak. Oh, God, I really don't want to break anything. That's kind of stiff. Ooh, there it goes. So that's come off. That's just, oh, okay, that's just basically an ND filter. Give all that a little bit of a wipe, make sure there's no residual dust lying around. And then I'll take this modifier. Now it is a modifier filter, so you're not replacing the actual lens. It's just a modifier that sits in front of the lens, which is cool. And I'll just put that on now. I don't know if there's a specific up. It looks like it just turns 90 degrees. Right, so I put that on there and I'll just rotate that round the same way, and need to sort of get that on square both sides, and then twist and hopefully get that all the way around. My god, that's tight. Okay, so here's my first problem with this thing. Hopefully it's the only problem I'm going to have with it, is when you mount that in here, and you put those two together, you got to push it down and then turn it, and you'll get it around to about that far, about 75-80% of the way around, and that's forcing it real hard, and you hear this grindy noise in here, which has gone away now on this one, thankfully. I guess it's because they've just machined it to be as tight as it can be so that it doesn't come loose after future use, but they should warn about this in the book. I've just spent about 20 minutes looking at the different forums and stuff about this, and a huge number of people find the same thing, and they just said just keep going at it, and eventually you'll be able to turn it around a bit further and it will go in and around and click in. So it doesn't really click in, it just sort of finishes turning. So that's I can understand why they've kind of machined it to be as tight a fit as they can do, and I think it's just some of the chrome coating or something on the metal, or some sort of coating on the metal that's been grinding away to get a really amazingly tight fit. It seems to be perfectly fine and is sitting there. So now I'm going to turn that on and see what the options are that I've got. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this puppy on, and I'm going to swipe down on the screen, and it says to look for the lens mod icon. Now funnily enough, I don't have that on here, so what I'm going to need to do probably is upgrade the GoPro to the latest firmware version and come back and show you that, so I'll go do that now. So as you probably already know, updating the firmware in your GoPro is just a matter of connecting to it with your phone with the GoPro app open. So GoPro Quick, there it is. I need to join my local Wi-Fi, so you can just look at me while I type in the password. And here we go back onto the GoPro app. So I'm just going to go to Quick, and there's my camera found, so I'm going to control the GoPro, and it says there's an update. What a shock. Continue, so it's downloading the software update, and while it's quickly doing that, I just wanted to remind you to hit the subscribe button and the like and all that sort of thing. Leave any comments or questions or things you want me to try out with the GoPro down below as well. I do look at all of those comments and I get back to as many of them as I can, so feel free to do that. Okay, so I've done my update, and that's all good, and I can swipe down here. Now as you can see, I still don't have the lens mod thing in here, which is a little bit concerning, and I've seen some people have said the same thing, so I did a bit of digging. If it's still not coming up, come into preferences and then come down to mods, and chances are you've got lens mod, max lens mod hide. That's been hidden sometimes on some of the releases, so you can just tell it to show that, because you've got the lens mod now, and that's cool. You can back out of there, and there you go, your lens mod thing is there now, and you can turn that on, and your max lens mode is now enabled, and that means we can go play with this thing now and see what it does. So I'm going to go and do some stuff with the normal lens on it, and then I'm going to have a play doing some stuff with the max lens on it, doing the same thing, and we'll come back and see how much of a difference it makes. I'm going to do some pretty stupid extreme stuff, especially for me, because it's likely to include running. Oh, and one last setting you need to make before you go running around to get the max out of this max lens mod. Down the bottom here, you'll see this little icon here. Click that and turn on horizon leveling. So horizon level is now on. I'm shooting at 2.7K, 60 frames a second, super view, and I'm going to do that for both the max lens mod and the normal lens. Okay, let's go do this thing. Okay, so just to keep my life easy and consistent, I've put the camera back into the GoPro mod case thingy, and I've set the normal shoot with the normal lens, which I've put back on, to super view at 2.7K 60 frames as well, so that's going to be consistent for both of these. And the horizon leveling, I'm just going to check that one. Yeah, for while I've got the normal lens on, I've got the boosted anti-shake, so I should be able to sort of move the camera around a wee bit. I don't know why I was moving myself around there, that was ridiculous. And I'm just heading over to my local park. where I can hopefully go for a bit of a run without too many people seeing. And I should also point out that just to get maximum humour value out of this, I'm doing it with the extended pole all the way out as far as I can get it, so that it's going to have as much shake and movement on it as possible, because I want to try and make as big a mess as I can so that I can see how much the GoPro is going to rectify that for me. Okay, let's start running. I fully expect to get a lot of comments about, wow, hey Tim, I didn't know you could run it all, let alone quite quickly. Maybe I'm not going that quick. Okay, I think that's probably enough to get a reasonably good idea, so I'll turn it around and to get some forward facing stuff as well. Now I know that if I was doing that with a DSLR or a Cinecam, then yeah, it just wouldn't be worth hitting the record button. But I know a GoPro is going to be doing a lot of work to stabilize that. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to put the new lens mod on. Rightio, here we are again, back with the max lens mod thingy put on. So I've got this once again set up at 2.7 with 60 frames and super view, and I've got the horizon leveling turned on. Breathe while speaking is a good idea. And I'm going to go and cause another heart attack while heading down the path here again and seeing how much of a mess I can make. Okay, so let's go and see what happens here, see how neat it can keep the video. Right, thankfully I've decided I only do a couple of 100 meters. Maybe I should go out running more often, what do you think? Probably not the worst idea. Move it around to the side again so I can get some profile footage. And back to the front. I'm interested to see how well it does that bit. And now I'll just flip it around again so we can see what it's like running down the path, trying to keep it level that way. I think that's probably enough torturing myself out here to see what I'm doing to bring you guys some good information and field tests. It's a rough life, I tell you. Something I've just noticed while walking back was that the original lens cover does fit inside the lid of the neat little box and stays in there quite nicely, but the box doesn't close because the way it's designed is it uses the friction on the surface of the mod to hold the sides and the lid of the box together, and that doesn't happen with the little one. So at least the interior side of it is protected and sealed from dust and stuff like that. And so there you have it. The GoPro with the lens modifier on it works really well. One more thing that I realized after I'd shot this, not that it had any effect on the test, that is, if you want to be able to do that cool trick where the leveling, horizon leveling stays stable on a full rotation, you also have to turn the rotation off. Swipe down on the screen and you turn the rotation thing here as well, so instead of all rotations, it'll just be locked at the current orientation. And once you've got that on there, then you can do stuff like this where it'll keep the horizon even if you rotate the thing full around. So that's really weird. It's actually got enough pixels and space on the 5K lens that when you do that in 2.7K, there's enough space for it to work out the complete orientation. I think that's a cool trick. Pretty impressive. I'm really happy with that. It's well worth the money. It's not something I'm going to be using for every shoot I do, because you don't always want to be that wide. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot more of a play around. The whole getting the thing on and off is a bit of an issue at the beginning, but hey, as you can see, there's plenty of people online that have said, hey, this works and do that and you'll be all groovy, and it does. What I might consider is actually getting a second GoPro, one to have this on it and one to not have it on it, so that I'm not constantly switching, because if I do, I'm going to be doing it a lot, and lens mounts do deteriorate over time, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm having to replace the mounting plate and that sort of thing. And who doesn't want a second GoPro 9 anyway? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, hit subscribe, watch these 2 videos up here, and come back and watch this one again, share it with all your friends who know that. Bye, see you later.